Hey everyone, good afternoon. My name is Julio Bello. I'm currently working through an apprenticeship program with RCC and Deck Corporation as an ironworker welder. I'm sure I speak for everyone when I say that all experienced at least once some sort of failure or difficulty in life, whether it's financial, emotional, or physical. These things happen. Like these things can be tasks, skills, jobs, or some sort of obstacle that comes in our way in many shapes and sizes, to be honest. In recent years, I've had difficulty with speaking publicly in larger crowds. So when I got the opportunity to work as a field safety technician, I was excited, you know. I knew I didn't have to work on my tools anymore. I would get a big pay raise, but one thing I didn't count on was the loads of paperwork and responsibilities like it comes with, such as public speaking, ironically. And we all have goals and dreams, things we want to accomplish. The problem is a lot of us tend to give up right before we reach success. And we don't even realize it. We don't even realize how close we really are to achieving growth. And so, with that being said, I'm going to tell you about a couple stories that may give you a better insight on the importance of being prepared, having patience, and most of all, being persistent. I want to start off with an Aesop fable about the crow and the pitcher. Aesop tells us of a crow that's dying of thirst, and he comes across upon a pitcher. I'm sorry. So once he gets to the pitcher, he realizes that there's not much water left in it. So he tries and he tries to quench his thirst, but at last he gives up. After trying so many times, he just says, this is it. I'm not going to be able to do it. But then a thought comes to mind. He reaches and grabs a pebble and places it inside of the pitcher. And then he grabs another pebble and places it inside of the pitcher. And what do you know? He does it again. He grabs another pebble and puts it inside of the pitcher. And then he gets another pebble and puts it inside of the pitcher. And at last, he starts seeing the progress. He starts seeing the water elevate. And after a couple more pebbles, he's finally able to quench his thirst and save his own life. So there's an important message in this Aesop fable that intelligence is key. It's very essential, but also the determination of the crow. You know, to him it was a life or death situation, and I have a similar story. It's not necessarily a life and death situation, but it definitely like goes hand in hand. So with my story, when I began my job as a field safety technician, I had to go all around the job site and do safety meetings to different crews every day. And on Mondays, those were like the biggest safety meetings that we would hold. Like everybody was involved, and so it was a pretty big deal. We had hundreds of people that were there, and I was honestly terrified. I was scared. I didn't. I was afraid of failure. But deep down, like I knew that I have to do this. I have to perform. Like for me, performing well and executing my speeches, to the to the best of my abilities was essentially the same thing for the crow in the pitcher. The way he wanted to save his life and quench his thirst, that's how bad I wanted to succeed. That's how bad I wanted to change the way I spoke to others. And in turn, I learned so much. Like I failed many times. Like my first couple of meetings, it was almost a disaster. It was embarrassing because I had so little time to prepare. It all came fast to me, but I didn't give up. Just as the crow, I kept putting in efforts. I kept trying, and I kept, with my determination and persistence. And eventually, like the more I did it, like the better I became at it. And I guess in a way, the more the water elevated for me. I could see the growth. I could see the progress, and it feels good. It's tough. It's not easy, but it's also not impossible. If you put your mind to something, you can do it. As long as you put in the time and the effort, you can achieve anything. And before you know it, I wasn't just speaking publicly and helping these people understand and view safety as a priority in in their everyday lives, not just at work but at home. I had to convince these people to take care of one another and look out for each other every day. And to top that off, I had to translate it. If you think like speaking publicly in English is hard, try translating everything. Now that right there is a task. That is a skill that I really appreciate, because to this day, like, even though I feel comfortable and okay with speaking, like, I know that I still have a lot to work on. Like, you can never stop learning, never stop growing, and so here we are. I think that I'm gonna end with a quote that I like. If at first you don't succeed, try and try again. Don't ever give up on your dreams, because you can make it happen. And with that, I'll end it with, does anybody have any questions? If not, I would love to hear a story that maybe you can relate to this topic. Thank you.